Hey, what's up guys? Ryan here, and I want to talk about the definition of sales. I just want to just share with you, I think this is super important when you think about, like, as a sales professional, what is sales? Because if you have the wrong definition of sales, it's going to have a long-term effect and dramatically impact the way your company goes to market, your salespeople go to market, how effective they are, what kind of customers they get, what kind of money you're going to make, what kind of gross profit margins you get. And depending on what you're trying to go to market and sell, you need to know what your definition of sales is. Now, I believe if you want to sell the most effectively, you want to have the ability to get good client relationships, to have a large margin, a high gross profit margin, larger deal sizes, and the more complex and sophisticated the projects are, the more money you can make, the less competition is going to be. There's also going to require a better salesperson. So especially when you go from like residential break fix sales all the way up to like commercial replacement retrofit projects, this becomes even more important. But the fundamentals apply no matter where you are. So let's define sales. I'm going to verbalize it, and then I'm going to go ahead and share a little visual. So my definition of sales is to speak with the prospect about their current agitated state, okay, and understanding the art and the science between that current and agitated state with their desired state, okay, and then understanding their compelling reasons to fix it. And therefore, you're selling a future, not a feature. So I like to say you're not selling features, but futures. And the only way to sell a future is to have a really good understanding of current and agitated, and then a really good understanding of future and desired outcomes. And in order to do that, you have to ask questions. In order to ask questions, you got to have something that you're trying to get out of them in terms of information, and therefore that's salesmanship, not the opposite, which is show up and throw up, features and benefits, and be in the land of what I call quote and hope, spray and pray, bid and beg, and bid it and forget it. So if you want to do that, I want you to just think about this. When you talk to a sales scenario, there's some sort of like, crack. I like just imagine this is like a crack right here, and this is a problem or desire. So let's say they come into your world, or you go out to their world, and there's some sort of identified problem or desire. There's a little crack, right? Just a little crack. I like to imagine that crack being the place in which I start a conversation. I don't talk about how awesome I am. I talk about this little crack they gave me. And I have a problem or a desire, and that's been expressed. Now, what I'm trying to do as a professional salesperson, knowing my definition of sales, is take that current agitated, desired state, and then I want to create a gap, and I want to create distance between that. And I want to be the one that fully understands that. How do I create distance? How do I create a distance between those two things? What happens when I do that is I actually create tension. I like to say, without tension, you can't make music. Without tension, you can't make music. And in sales, we want to be like freaking just like a rock star up there, just making the house come down with our ability to create tension and play from that tension. That's what's going to make you a phenomenal salesperson. So let's just say you have a problem or desire. I'll give you another visual. It starts with that. We have this scenario here. Then this scenario here. This is going to be the current agitated state. Okay? And then this is going to be the desired state. Now, right now, this is kind of close together because it's just kind of like a little crack. It's not very big. But what happens is if we are good at understanding more about their current and desired state, okay, and we're able to create a larger distance between the two, through the quality of our questions, the effectiveness of our questions, and the more that they start to say, man, I'm here, I want to be there, and I don't know how I'm going to get there. I can't do it myself. I won't do it myself. Don't know how. But I really want it. And so when you start to, and there's more here, but when you start to say, hey, so tell me more about this situation, and they explain it. How'd you get here? How long has it been a problem? What did you try to do? Did it work? How come it didn't work? Okay, gosh, tell me more about that. And then there's a bunch of other things that can make this really, really impactful. But here's the cool part. When you start to be a master of understanding this, another thing we want to do is what are the failed attempts? What's the cost of this gap? What's that costing that? How's the emotion? What are the emotions involved? We know the failed attempts, the emotions, the cost, the willingness, the unwillingness, the lack thereof, the lack of know-how to do this well on their own. What happens is this becomes an island that they've got to get off of, and they're looking for a vehicle to get here. Okay? They think about it, they dream about it, they lose sleep about it. When you, as the person in the sales role, are fantastic at getting from here and creating this, and then understanding this, and having not just emotions, but costs, real money, failed attempts, nothing changes if nothing changes. You have future desires that won't be accomplished without this. You are going to sell a lot of stuff, whether it's home improvement projects, commercial services and projects, whatever you're selling. If you can do that effectively, which you could script this, you could coach this, you can role play this, you can get trained on this, you are going to go to a whole new level in your sales career. So that's sales defined. It's what's the current state, agitated, frustrated state, what's the desired state, the outcomes we're looking for, and then understanding their compelling reasons, the costs in between it, why they would fix it, all those things. And if you could do that well, my gosh, you are going to sell a lot of stuff. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Take a look at the notes here below. You guys have, if you have any interest in learning more about how to train you and your company on this, we have a company called STG that is dedicated to helping you and your organization become effective at selling and recruiting and sales leadership. So have a look at that. Also, take a look at our conference, Transform 25, or whatever year you're watching this. We have an annual conference you can always check out. The link should be in there as well. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Share it. Talk to you soon.